This is a story that occurred in the time of the fourth Rebbe of Chabad, Rebbe Shmuel. And he had a Chassid, a follower, that was, a moderately rich person, but he was a businessman, and came to him a couple of other businessmen with a proposition to make kvass. What was kvass? Kvass was something like beer. Something like, maybe it was a very lightly alcoholic beverage or something like that. I guess the closest thing they had back then to Coca-Cola. Kvass. And I guess it was good tasting, and it was a popular thing. And they noticed that in their whole area where they were, there was no kvass. There was none of this drink was there. And they came to him with an offer. One of them knew how to make this kvass, and he had a big factory. He was an expert at managing factories, and the other one was an expert at advertising. He had a lot of connections, and he could advertising and distribution. He could distribute this kvass everywhere to all the different stores, and what they needed was just money. And he's got money, and there'll be a 3-part partnership. So it's a sure thing. It's a sure thing. There's no way that they're going to lose on it. They investigated. No one else has even the slightest desire to open up a kvass. Nobody knows how to do it. Only these people know how to do it. We're going to have a monopoly. We're going to corner the market. We're going to make a fortune. No doubt about it. It's a popular drink wherever it was made. It was, for some reason, no one made it around here, but we're going to do it. So he said, sounds like a good idea to me. Let me ask my wife. So he goes and he asks his wife, and his wife said, wonderful, this is great. This is just what we've been waiting for. So he said, I'm going to go ask the Rebbe. I'm going to ask the Rebbe. So his wife said, listen, I think like this, you don't have to ask. I mean, this is just an obvious, it's just an obvious success, So you ask the Rebbe if you should, put on your shoes in the morning. This is just the obvious. You're a businessman, they're a businessman, you know what you're doing. Other things, you have a doubt about, then you ask the Rebbe. He said, no, I got to ask. So he goes to the Rebbe, insists, and he gets a private audience, and he tells the Rebbe what these 2 people came to him, and etc. And the Rebbe said, don't do it. It's not a good idea. So he goes back to his wife. His wife said, oh, good. When are we going to start? He said, no, I'm not going to do it. What? He said, I went to the Rebbe. The Rebbe told me not to do it. I said, listen, did you explain it to him? I told him, I have this office. The Rebbe is a religious man. He's sitting in his office, learning Torah. He doesn't know about business. He doesn't know what's going on. You have to go and explain it to him. Explain it to him clearly. What the good? So he said, listen, I always was by the Rebbe. I'm embarrassed. Tell him that your wife is forcing you. Tell him it's a thing of shalom bias, that you want a peace in the house, you want to quiet your wife down. Okay. So he gets another offer to the Rebbe. Before that, his wife, she already prepared him. So that you have to tell the Rebbe exactly this, who the people names of the people are, and their experience, and that where you want to make it and how you want to make it. Very good. So he goes to the Rebbe, and he gets another audience, and the Rebbe said, "You're telling me the same thing as before." He said, "Yeah, but now it's in more detail. My wife, what can I do? My wife." So the Rebbe listens to him. He says, "Okay, listen, I said before no, and I'm telling you now also no. It's not good. I'm telling you, you won't succeed." So he goes back to his wife. No, what did the Rebbe say? The Rebbe said not to do it. So his wife said, "Listen, you're a fool. You're a fool. Maybe you're a businessman, but you don't know how to explain. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to speak. You came to the Rebbe, you were already negative about it, right? You were already affected by the previous time. I know you, that's the way you go. I'm going to write the whole thing down. You go into the Rebbe and you show the Rebbe what I wrote down. Tell him that I forced you to bring it, and you'll see." So she writes it all down, the names of the people and their past and their portfolios of his partners that want to go, and where they want to do it, and exactly what kvass is and how it's popular and how it's good and it's money making. He goes to the Rebbe a third time. The Rebbe doesn't get mad. He said, "Listen, you were here already twice. I told you not to do it. And I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. You shouldn't do it." So he goes back home, and his wife says, "Listen, I'm telling you that the Rebbe, now he's just being stubborn. The Rebbe made a mistake the first time, and he's stubbornly insisting that he was right and you should do it. And he knows that if you don't go into the business, so okay, you won't make money, but you're not going to lose money. So his advice is the safest advice, not to do anything. I'm telling you, you have to do it. Anyway, his wife nags him and drives him crazy until finally, and he starts agreeing with his wife. And so he puts his money into the thing, and they build they fix up a whole factory, and he loses every single penny. Every single penny he loses. It didn't explain in the story why they stole his money, whatever happened. In any case, lost it all. So on his own, he goes to the Rebbe and he says, Rebbe, listen, I listened to my wife. It was a big mistake. I lost my money. That's not the big problem. The big problem is I want to apologize that I doubted what you said. You know, I didn't take you seriously. You know, you took from your time, from your energy, and from your love, and you gave me good advice, and I ignored it. It says, I'm really sorry, Rebbe. I don't, you know. And the Rebbe said, listen, he said, it's okay. It's okay. You can, you know, I understand, you know, you didn't want to listen. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. But there's three types of people that listen to my advice. Three reasons. There's one type of people that I give them advice. And the reason they take it is because they say that the Rebbe, he's very experienced. He's got a lot of experience. And from his experiences, he knows, you know, what type of advice to give and what type not the advice to give. And he also had his parents also, you know, they gave him, they taught him a little bit. He has experience from them. That's one type. Another type of people, they say it's not just the Rebbe's experience. The Rebbe is wise. He's very smart. The Rebbe is a very smart person. And he's like got a tremendous sense of, you know, how to make money, how to cure people, how to this. Tremendous wisdom. He's got like the wisdom of King Solomon. Very wise. Then there's another type of person, they say that the Rebbe is holy. That it's not the Rebbe speaking at all. That it's God. God is giving him advice, right? Which is above experience and above wisdom. It's pure godliness. Further, but you said you didn't listen to what I said. You don't think that I am holy, and you don't think that I'm wise, and you don't even think that I'm experienced. That's why you didn't listen. He said that's not the markings of a chassid. You know, you have to change your whole attitude. And there's three reasons not to listen to the Rebbe. Not to listen to the Rebbe. And you went according to all three of them. You didn't listen to what I said. And accordingly, you lost. So that's why we should listen to what the Rebbe says. And the Rebbe is experienced. And the Rebbe is also very wise. But most important of all, the Rebbe is trying to tell us what God is trying to tell us. And of course, there's several blatant examples. And one of the most blatant example is the 6-Day War. When the 6-Day War, you know, everyone in the world was saying that Israel is going to be, you know, there's going to be at least, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dead people. And the Rebbe said it's going to be over in a few days. You got nothing to worry about. And no one agreed with him. And the Rebbe was right. There's another very short story that I'll tell you. It's really longer, but it's the same point. The Rebbe told this lady not to make an operation. Not to make an operation. And in the end, it's a very big, long story that she wanted to make the operation and she didn't. And finally, in the end, all the doctors were telling you she's going to die. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be this. And she went to another doctor. The Rebbe said not to make the operation. And she badgered the Rebbe. What do you mean? I have to make it? And the Rebbe said, what I meant is go to another doctor. Went to another doctor. The doctor said, you can just take a few shots. And the cure, and the woman thanked the Rebbe. Thank you, saved my life. And the Rebbe said to the secretary, people have to know that when we say things, and there's the Rebbes, when we say things, we never make mistakes. So he said, when we say things, we never make mistakes. It's like a prophet. It says that's the sign of a prophet is that he's always right. The non-Jews also have their soothsayers, which are right like 90% of the time, the astrologers or whatever, 90%, but they're not always right. They're right enough times that people listen to what they say. But a prophet, a true prophet, is always right. And the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, is a true prophet. All the Rebbe is true prophets. And you can check it up. You can see they were never wrong. Okay. God bless everyone. Have a good day. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow there'll also be a class. God willing, we will learn this. I'll have a look at this. We'll learn tomorrow morning at 8:15 in the morning. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now let's see what this says over here. 1 second. Oh, I gotta stop.